Hey guys, welcome back to the Derick podcast. We are in the vault today with two guests. One is a familiar face out the podcast. This is actually going to make you the most frequent guest with this episode. So this is your third time being here. This is Zach Duffy again, and his business partner, Paul Romero. How's it going, man?
Good.
I'm glad we could finally get Duffy in here again.
I know, it's been a while.
You guys are too busy.
We are too busy.
Killing it over at the new shop.
We're trying. We're trying.
So what's going on? How's business going? Tell us a little bit about you guys' Exclusive Wraps as you're sporting it on your jacket.
Yeah.
And we can kind of just start there.
Yeah, man. Business is great. We've recently moved to a bigger shop, middle of December, I want to say. We moved to a bigger shop. It's already starting to seem like it was maybe a little too soon to go as to the size we did. We probably should have gone bigger because we're already filling it up. But no, it's been great. We have a great team. Our other business partners hold down the fort really well. They're doing a great job, and our employees are also doing a great job.
Awesome. How many people do you guys have there, like including you?
Right now we have 5.
And
Five.
are you guys spending full time there? I mean, you're full time in the building.
We
Yeah,
are.
we
Yeah.
are now.
Probably over full time right now.
Yeah, we are.
There's days we work like 18 hours a day, but you know what it
night.
takes to run a business.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hopefully that slows down at some point and you can start filling some people in your shoes.
Yeah, that's definitely a important part of scaling a business is finding the right people to put in the right places.
And giving up a little control. That's the hard part.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the hard part. I mean, as long as you trust who you hire.
That's
That's
the hard part.
It is, especially with what we do, because it's specialty. It's not like we could get anybody and train them, but it's just it takes a long time to get somebody to the level of quality that we're looking for. So
the attention to detail, and we'll talk a little bit about what you guys offer there, so everyone knows that we know what we're talking about. Yeah. So what do you guys offer at the shop?
Anything automotive appearance related. So we do wraps, vehicle wraps, we do business wraps, we do window tint, we do chrome delete, a lot of chrome delete, paint matching, basically anything to make your ride look like it needs to look.
Well, it's funny because like the chrome bumpers and the chrome everything used to be the upgrades, right? Yeah. And now it's kind of like starting to switch to where it's all the paint match stuff.
Yep. It's kind of funny because we've seen that actually happen right before our eyes. So it's been interesting to see what comes in, what's trending, what isn't.
Yeah.
And it changes so often.
Yeah. How long have you guys been doing this business?
Since May.
So not even a year.
No.
And you guys are working out. I mean, you're working more time than you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both have families.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
3 kids. Paul's got 4.
4 kids and a wife.
So you got one more coming then?
No.
What? Come on, bro. We were just talking about that before we jumped on and how I love having my single kid, and we're probably just going to end it there. But Amanda may have something to say about that.
There's going to be more.
I could get baby hungry.
I can see it.
Yeah, Mallory, you might have to cut that. Cool. So how'd you guys meet? How'd you come together? I know you guys have known each other for a long time, and I think we're going to kind of fork this at some point and talk a little crypto. But let's kind of just get into the business partner side of it and start. Where'd you say 2016? Is that what you said?
Actually, we went into business together in 2015, towards the end of 2015. And I reached out to him on Facebook actually because I needed a website for a business idea I had. And me and my dad actually, because my dad do everything together business-wise. He's like my best friend.
That's cool.
Yeah. So me and him were thinking of who we could talk to about a website. I reached out to Zach because we have mutual friends. Brooks, who was actually on your podcast before. Yeah. And he never messaged me back, actually. He ghosted me.
I did.
Guilty.
He ghosted me. So I saw him somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And I went up and talked to him. We caught up and ended up going to his house, I think that night. It was pretty quick. We sat down, told him my idea. I think he saw the vision that I had because on our drive home from there, me and my dad were like, we can't just hire him to build a website. Let's be partners with him.
Let's bring
we
him
just
in.
clicked immediately. So we did. And less than a year later, we quit our full-time jobs at the time, and we were doing that company full-time. And it's been kind of a wild ride ever since.
It's always a wild ride.
Yeah, he believed in me. You
Yeah.
know? Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. He believed in me, and he brought something to the table that I didn't have, and that's the tech side of it.
Yeah, I kind of bought into the vision, and
Yep.
and that's important,
He
obviously.
brought it to life.
Yeah.
Any ideas we've ever had, he knows how to bring them to life, and that's what you need. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of learned that with my brother, with a couple of his partners. I was talking to him one day about different things, and he's like, I'm kind of the boots on the ground guy. This guy's the dreamer. And he's like, and I'm not a dreamer. So like we have to have him to bring in new ideas, new directions, new everything. And I was just kind of like, I guess I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a great business partner, because I'm like, I tell everyone that business pitch me, you know, and I'm like, dude, I'll be there and help you through it, but I don't think we should be partners.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, one, I've already got too many things going on, but I'm like, I'll probably outwork you, and we'll both end up getting bitter because of that is usually the first thing. But two, I'm very blunt because I feel like I don't see another way to do it, you know?
There's no other way. No,
Yeah.
You have to be blunt and open.
And a lot of people can't handle that. But yeah, so I mean, it's cool that you guys have like yin and yang, and you're making it work together.
Yeah, it's funny you say that about being blunt, because he's probably the most blunt person I've ever met.
I love it.
Anywhere we go, it's raw. You know? And I'm more reserved. I kind of adapt to people's personalities. I read the room, and then I know how to act.
Sure.
Just for the sake of getting through whatever I'm going through.
And Zach's just like, boom, I'm
Zach's
here.
just like, where are your desks?
Not exactly in those words, but yeah.
Yeah.
We were going desk shopping for our Forex Entourage business at the time. And we went to probably every place in town, and we found a place we went into, and they like asked me every single question you could possibly not even want to know, but like about desks. And I'm like, where the fuck are your desks at? Like, seriously, just let's get to the point. So,
Yeah. Where are your desks? I just want to buy one.
Where are your desks? Yeah, it was funny.
He's like,
Not
I want
in
it to
those
look
words,
like
but-
wood.
Yeah.
And have like a keyboard drawer.
Yeah. Exactly. No, but what I was getting at with that is just we can tell each other anything, whether it's we want to hear it or not, and at the end of the day, we're in business.
Yeah.
It's business.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and being able to leave that at business and have a relationship outside of business.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are able to do that.
it is, and money changes people.
Yeah.
And me and Paul have made a lot of money together, and it doesn't change anything about us, which is something very unique to us as well. A lot of people have money issues, or they start making money, and it changes people so much. It's crazy what money does to people.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's never been like that at all, you know? So
Well,
that definitely helps a lot.
To back up what I was saying, like, I wasn't bragging that I'm not a good business partner. Like, it's a fault for me. So I'm like, I've just been okay with it. I'm going to have to do it alone type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I could see that. I just, at the end of the day, I am very blunt with people, but it's all in achieving the same goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have the same vision and the same goal, anything can be achieved. It's cheesy to say that, but it's so true.
yeah, I'm like, let's not beat around the bush. Just tell me what it is and let's move
Exactly.
forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, you can't really go anywhere if you don't. If
Yeah.
you beat around the bush, you can't go anywhere.
So was that the Forex business that you guys originally had started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's actually, that was the wildest ride we went on. We've been on a few, but that by far was the biggest.
I mean, do we have some stories out of that?
Oh yeah.
Many.
Have you watched The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of my favorite movies, right?
Yeah.
Not as insane as that movie is, but we lived a minimal version of that.
I was gonna say, dude, stuff got pretty crazy with that guy.
No, trust me, it did. It did. It got crazy for us as well. Even towards the end where he had to go to the United States courthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no fun.
That was not fun. But, you know, it's life. You either take the risk and experience it, you win, you lose, you don't know what's going to happen, right?
But it's extremely hard to win if you don't take the risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in this case, we won and we lost. We won big and then we lost big.
Yeah.
And we're not ashamed to admit it or tell you that we did.
And you learned, and now you
Exactly.
guys are moving forward.
Exactly.
That's the thing about it is you can take it as a negative of what happened to us in the end, but really the life lessons and the business lessons that we learned from that I mean, you can't be taught that. You have to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Sorry, keep going. I keep cutting you off.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're good. I was just going to say that's what's helped us, grow. Ultimately, that's what helps you grow.
And it helped us structure Exclusive Wraps in such a way where, we're not even a year old and we're already outgrowing the second building we're in.
Yeah. When the first building you were in was what, like 1,000 square foot workspace?
Yeah, it was like 1,400 or 1,500 square feet.
Like total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've doubled that.
Dang. So I mean, what's the end goal? You're going to be in an industrial and own a warehouse? Like, I mean, you've already outgrown where you're at.
I'll be honest with you. The end goal for us is go as big as we can. We're in this to be the biggest appearance window tint wrap shop in town.
I mean, does it benefit you guys being on like a main road like Sunset?
We didn't know at first, but it actually does because we have cars parked outside all the time.
Oh, I know.
Wrap that we work. Yeah, you're across the street. And
I'm like, that Lambo's back again?
yeah. Shout out to Jeremy for that, by the way.
Thank you, Jeremy.
That definitely it pulls my eye. Any car guy would definitely pull their eye.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Having that car parked outside has brought people in to look at the car, to ask us what we do, ask why it's there, who it belongs to. I mean, all kinds of questions. People, all kinds of traffic, I should say.
Good icebreaker.
Yeah. People call. Like, hey, are you guys the shop with the Lambo in the front of the shop?
Oh, really?
What do you guys do? Well, there when we start.
So I need to get that thing in front of the safe store too, then, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, it does nothing for my business. It's just an icebreaker to call me.
Exactly. No, it helps. And tons of other cars. We had a Shelby Cobra. We did a chrome stripe on the other day that actually brought in a lot of attention. And we don't realize it. We're just parking cars till they get picked up. So we don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're getting calls about more vinyl work or window tint or PPF, whatever, paint protection film.
And you guys can really do anything, right?
Anything as far as appearance or paint protection, wraps, window tint,
Painting as well.
Paint, yeah.
Also do powder coating as well.
In the shop?
No, we outsource that.
Oh, I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, the guys are awesome. I'll shout them out as well. Elite Powder Coating.
Okay.
Braxton over there, he takes good care of us, and the wheels always look amazing. Whatever it is we need powder coated, they do awesome work.
Yeah, because when you said anything appearance, I was like, what do you guys do with rims? I mean, you can get rims, tires, all that stuff.
Yeah, we can. We would probably outsource that now for the time being, but we're in talks of getting
You're going to take all that over one day.
Yeah, we want to do that as well. And we're also getting ready to, probably in the next 6 months to a year, open a small body shop for the paint match work.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Like I said, we want to hit every.
Well, that's what I'm like.
I'm
just sitting here thinking, like, dude, you're going to end up, like, for people that are familiar with St. George, you're going to end up like at River Road in a warehouse.
Yeah, that's probably where we'll have to.
That's probably what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Or multiple locations, honestly.
Good point. Yeah.
But we're already looking at where this town's heading. Obviously, the growth has been insane in St. George. Too big, actually, but too fast.
I'm the same.
But like off of exit 13 where the auto mall's coming, we've already got our eye on that area for another location or a bigger location, so we can be close to, because dealerships send us a lot of business.
Yeah.
Now,
so I mean, they just pull it around the corner, and there you guys are.
So if we do business for this auto group, and there's going to be another one, we want to make sure that we're we're there.
You did tell me, Zach, that the dealerships are a big part now. Is that just tint work, or is that do they bring in other stuff other than tint?
Yeah, they do for sure. There was a Nissan Frontier that we wrapped not too long ago, before we got into the new shop. Their customer wanted a white truck, and it's very hard to find anything nowadays. And we wrapped it white, and it's amazing the change. I mean, it looks exactly like paint. It's crazy what it does to the appearance of your vehicle, for sure.
It was cool to see the customers' reaction, not just the customers, but like the salesmen, the sales managers over at the dealership came out and looked at it, and they were amazed by they're
like, this is it.
The transformation. Yeah.
So my one thought is, like, you pop the hood or open the doors, and so that wrap comes and just wraps around the door edge and then stops. Yeah. And so, like, the stock color would still be seen, like, inside the door, but that's it. Like,
correct.
From the outside, it looks like a brand new paint job.
And you can do the door gems. We haven't had anyone do that yet, because that is a much bigger upgrade.
Sure.
You're talking body realignment, body shop work, right? But so far, nobody's really cared a whole lot about the door gems.
One question I wanted to ask, I've been meaning to call you in the last couple of days, because Tyson and I had talked about this. Wrapping a safe.
Yeah,
we'd be able to
absolutely.
wrap a safe, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could just print whatever you wanted on the wrap, or how does that work?
So that's more of like a custom printed wrap, which we can do as well. So any design, I actually do all the graphic design. Same with my wife. Love you. Not wife yet, but you will be soon. But no, it's really cool to, you know, design something on a computer, have the customer love it, and then actually see the end product. It never, that's the best part about this business for me is seeing people's reactions to our work. It's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we should do that. We
Let's
should
do
grab. So we've got like textured safes. Would it stick to that, or would it have to be like a gloss finish?
Gloss would be better, but we can get specialty vinyl that would stick to that.
Because I've got one right now that's like a customer trade-in type safe, and it's just like a dark granite texture. And I was like, gosh, dude, if I was gonna do one like just to try it and see how it worked, I'm like, that's the one I would do it to.
Marble.
Do a marble finish.
That'd
That
be
would be
interesting.
bad.
We have a lot of already designed patterns that you can go through, or if you wanted to do one to showcase your shop, your logo, your company info, all that, we could do that as well. 'Cause your shop's the one with the big safe out front, right?
Yeah,
That's
just
awesome,
like a
by the
block
way.
down from you guys.
I love that.
It's yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's making a joke because I'm colorblind,
Oh, are you?
so I didn't know it was yellow, but that's awesome.
So I didn't know it was yellow. There's just this big like off gray safe down there.
It's more of a shades thing, but yeah, it's not fun, and they capitalize on that.
I bet.
I mean, if you don't have fun at work, you're not really working and having
Yeah.
fun. Like, you're not enjoying what you do, right?
Yeah. Well, Tyson sent me. It was like a wrap kit for a toolbox, and it just looked like wood grain. Like it just looked like it was planks of wood, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm sure we could make something up and do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they have a lot of wood design.
So with Browning, they just had the SHOT Show at the end of January. It's like the second biggest gun show in the nation.
Ben,
And
it's awesome.
you've been to it, okay? And one of their deals for SHOT Show, it's like this one of a kind special edition, right? Browning safe, and it's a large safe, and then they wrap it, and it's like looks like smoke coming up, and then they have their logo in it. I mean, it looks sick.
That's cool.
And I was just like, well, we could. That's how we came across it. And Tyson was like, I bet Zach could do this.
Oh yeah.
And he's
for
like,
sure.
I mean, copyright laws pending,
Well,
right?
it wouldn't be the same design. It would be our
Yeah.
own design.
And he was like, I'm sure he could do anything you wanted. And that's kind of where this came up. And then being able to because there are people out here that would pay extra to have that on a safe. Our problem right now in the safe industry is we're not getting any gloss. Everything that's coming in is textured because it's a one-step process to do textured. It's a 3-step process to do gloss. And they can put, they have more orders of textured. So they'll put 12 safes in a paint booth and paint them all.
Yeah.
But they don't have 12 of, champagne.
Yeah.
And so they maybe have like 1 or 2, and they're taking up that paint booth for that entire time in 3 times the time, right? And so like right now, I've probably got 12 or 13 Fort Knoxes in stock, and none of them, they're all textured.
Really?
And they only have 3 different colors. So it's just like a lot of the same colors.
Well, they are now. They're going to be different. soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I seriously want to look into that though. I just need
Yeah.
to come stop by the shop and
You should.
look at some designs.
We're right across the street.
I know, dude. The thing is like I'm there full time too.
I know you are.
And so it's like, if I'm not doing a safe in the morning, I'm usually, well, my wife will probably correct me, but I'd say I'm usually trying to help out with the kid, getting him off to daycare or hanging out with him until my mother-in-law comes. She watches our kid once or twice a week. And so it seems like I never have a morning to go do anything. And then I'm at the store from noon to 6.
Yeah, we can run a couple swatch books over to you so you can look at some colors and
You
stuff.
guys would bring it to me?
Of course we would.
Dang, dude.
Of course.
Pick up and delivery.
There you go. What you need to do is come pick up my truck. I don't have any money for you to do anything to it. I just want to drive Zach's Jeep while you guys have it.
It's a
you
nice
go.
Jeep. Just make sure you fill it up with gas when you're done. 'Cause,
Done.
I get amazing mileage.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it's the same with your truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that truck just drinks fuel.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. We're going to get down rabbit holes like that.
That's okay.
So what do you want to talk about? You want to go more on the trading company, or do you want to
Sure.
go
Yeah,
more
yeah,
on
we can do
exclusive
that.
wraps? Are you
can do
doing
that.
anything else? Is it just those 2, or do you guys have other stuff?
We have projects we're working on, but that's our main focus right
Okay.
now. Yeah, just getting it going because it's still new.
Sure.
It's still very new.
It's brand new. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for now, I think, I mean, I still day trade for
Okay.
me personally. I'm not on a massive scale anymore. And crypto, obviously, you know how involved in NFTs and
Yeah.
crypto Zach is as well. And that portion, he takes me under his wing completely. Like I just listen to him.
Well, I've only been in a few months.
Yeah.
But it seems like right now NFTs are becoming more of a household name.
Oh yeah.
But nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was like, I told Mallory, I said, hey, let's get Zach back on. Maybe talk crypto, maybe talk NFTs. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to bring Paul with me. And I was like, cool, dude, we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah.
But like the NFT thing is so foreign to everybody. Well, let me give you an example, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this was just an example I'd given to, it was my grandma actually. So she's like, so if I understand an NFT right, you would take a picture of your house and then someone would buy that picture from you and now they own your house. And I'm like, well, not exactly. Say maybe they take a digital copy of the deed and now that deed is an NFT. And if that deed gets traded or sold to you, now you would own the house. Mm-hmm. But it's not just like a snap picture of something, but it would be like digital ownership of something.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everything's going to be an NFT eventually.
Yeah.
Everything. Like you said, the deed to your house, how they verify your driver's license, your passport, anything and everything.
I mean, like a plane ticket would be kind of is an NFT already.
Yeah.
Right.
You scan your phone.
Yeah.
Boom, done. You're on the flight.
And so it's not that foreign, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Is it's not, we're already doing it. We just don't know we are.
Right.
Correct. It'll be a way to transact value through anything into anything. So if you want to take value from something and something else and combine it to buy something, that would be a good way to describe it.
Like put that in like terms of something physical people can picture.
So basically, an NFT is like digital ownership of something. So and it proves without a shadow of a doubt that you're the owner of that.
And
it's
all
authenticated through the blockchain.
That's all I was going to say.
Right.
Yeah, and it's backed up on, and I guess it's on whatever blockchain it's running on.
Yeah.
Correct.
Whether it's Ethereum, XRPL, Sol, there's tons and more coming.
What else? There's got to be more about NFTs. I mean, that's the base. That's kind of what I tell people like right off the bat.
Right.
You know, you would have an NFT and it would be a digital copy of your title to your car, and that would prove ownership. So if you sold your car, you would sell that NFT over the and it'd be backed up on the blockchain to Billy Bob, right?
Yep.
Right.
And that's on its way too. I think they've already started an infrastructure for that.
Yeah.
As well as houses, like you were talking in the beginning.
Well, so another thing, and it seems like they have different utilities for different NFTs, right? Mm-hmm. Like I know Zach's not a believer in strong block, right? But so I'm in strong block, and you can buy an NFT and stake it to your node, and then now that will earn you more rewards on that node.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a picture of a title.
Right.
So it's like they'd have different utilities as well.
So a good example would be like, let's say that you had a Mickey Mantle card, right? And let's say that Topps produced that card originally forever ago. Let's say that NFTs were around that time. They would assign that baseball card as an NFT, sell it, and then anytime it gets sold in the future, Topps would make royalties on that every time it sells.
Is that on every NFT? Because I've seen that where like the original sellers get a 3% kickback or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why you see so many, I don't know how many NFT pages you follow on social media, but I follow tons just because I like to see what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
And for example, you'll see some like a rapper or someone that's promoting an NFT. They have no idea what it is.
Right.
But like Gary Vee, actually, I don't know if you watched his podcast at all. Did you watch the one on NFTs?
I've seen clips. I haven't seen the full thing.
You gotta watch it. It's worth it. It's like an hour or something.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I know he's a believer, so I'm like, okay, he's one I've got to view.
Yeah. But for example, his he was just on a podcast and he talked about this. He said that he created a certain series of NFTs. I can't remember what they're called. It's for
Me friends.
Yeah, something
Me
like that.
friends.
Yep.
And when you buy that NFT, you get exclusive access to him, right? And that's what these celebrities are doing as well. You buy my NFT or this NFT that I'm promoting, you're going to have exclusive access to me. We'll be in a Discord that I'm in. Will I ever talk to you? Probably not. But this is a way for me to. No, it's true. This is a way for me to sell it, right? You're basically in a club, like the board.
You're in a
Ape
Facebook
club.
group.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever value they decide to bring to that NFT is entirely up to them. It could be something cool. It could be nothing, right? But that's one way to sell an NFT.
Okay.
Is for you to say, hey, join my club. We call it the Vault Club.
Yeah. If you guys want to view our podcast, you have to own an NFT.
You have to own an NFT, right?
Exactly.
And depending on the value that you bring and that you're able to sell to the public is how much, obviously, how many people you're actually going to get.
I mean, so like books, CDs, right?
Yeah. What are CDs?
Yeah.
Club.
Well, I just mean like anything like that. They'll all go to that.
Anything can be exclusively owned or accessible through that NFT.
So like you've got some Jocko Willink books behind you.
Yep.
So you would own a Jocko NFT, and then now you have access to his books.
Sure. Yeah.
One
You
good
could sell
example.
anything.
Gary,
Music.
Gary V's opening a restaurant in New York where you have to have an NFT to be able to go to the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
He is going to be a major pioneer in this,
Oh,
in
sure.
this business.
He already is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Him and Zach.
Yeah. Did you hear about the rapper that made an NFT album? I think his name's Tory Lanez. Had 1 million copies of this album, sold them for $1 each, and sold them within 30 minutes, every single copy. Now, what that means to him is anyone that bought that album can sell it. And like he said, that he's going to get a royalty for any time that album sells. The only way you can access the album is through that NFT. He sold 1 million copies, so he made $1 million in less than 30 minutes and has royalties for the rest of his life.
Dang.
So who needs a record label?
Yeah.
You're cutting out the middleman in a lot of these situations with NFTs.
Yeah. Now you're cutting out like YouTube and
Yep.
and everything else too that can censor or whatever, name it.
Yep.
Right? They have control over the platform.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of these big companies aren't promoting NFTs, or if they are, they're already so far ahead of the game that the only way to access their products in the future is going to be through an NFT or through the metaverse, which that's a whole different.
That might be another podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. But the metaverse is something to definitely look into because everything's going to be in the metaverse. Like
Yeah.
Our podcast, your podcast, could be through the metaverse. You don't have to meet in person with people anymore.
Well, I heard that maybe we talked about this now that I'm bringing this up. I'm having like deja vu. But the UFC is doing a fight over. Did we talk about that? I don't remember.
We didn't.
I must have said it to someone else, but the UFC is doing like a metaverse fight.
I saw that Dana White announced that.
And then I was like, well, so now you're probably gonna have to go buy a UFC NFT to view it.
Exactly.
And then it's all like on a digital thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like your VR, right? So you'd put like a VR goggle set on, whatever, and you're sitting like front row at UFC. I mean, is that how it would work?
And yeah, it'll work that way now. And it's the VR technology really hasn't. I mean, VR is amazing, but it really hasn't caught up to where it needs to be to really take off, in my opinion. Just because like you have the Oculus. Oculus is okay, but you really need something major driving that. So, but they'll get there. You'll be wearing glasses, something like. I mean, Facebook changed their name to Meta for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Because I know, like NBA TV has been trying to do something like that, where there's like and again, I'm not versed in this, but it's like a 3D camera type thing, and you can buy. They've talked about it. I don't think they've ever done it, but you have to have like the NBA TV subscription, and then it's like that where you would have a VR goggles on, and then they just have like on Facebook where you can like scroll around the picture and you can sit there and look around the whole thing. That's
3D
what it
view,
would be.
yeah.
So,
And
it's
you're,
like you're there.
yeah, you're sitting courtside at a Lakers game.
Yeah.
With like goggles on.
Yep.
And I'm
Jack Nicholson on your left. And
yeah, exactly. And Spike Lee on you at the Knicks game, right?
Yeah.
A crazy thing is, was it Adidas or Nike that was creating a metaverse as well?
Adidas. Well, I think they all are now.
Yeah, so
they're all slowly announcing it.
Basically, you go into the metaverse and you try on all their shoes and they ship them to your door. That's how shopping is going to be.
Yeah, you walk into the store in the metaverse.
Okay.
You check out the shoe. You say, no, I don't like that color. I want it red. Boom, switch to red. Yeah, that's the one I want. You ship it to your house. All shopping is going to be like
Dude,
that.
that's
eventually.
bananas.
Car shopping.
Same
They haven't
with car.
announced that yet, but mark my words. You're going to go to a dealership in the metaverse. You pick the color you
need
want.
to call up like Maserati or something, dude, and get that
Sure,
done.
I've already thought about it. But yeah. And then you order the car and then it gets shipped to your house. Kind of like Tesla's already doing. You don't have to go anywhere to buy a Tesla. You can order it from a computer.
Yeah.
And then they tell you where to pick it up. You show up. Just like his brother, we just tinted his Tesla last week. Told us the buying process. It was insane. I used to sell cars. That's what I did right before, the shop. So thinking of how Tesla does their buying process as opposed to how I was doing it 8 months ago is insane.
I mean, they're just cutting out the salesman and everything completely.
Yep.
And so they're making more money.
Absolutely.
They're making more money, or they can charge less on the car because they don't have that overhead.
Yeah.
They just have
They'll
a
make more
warehouse
money.
somewhere.
They're
Yeah.
not gonna charge less.
I know. I was just saying, like, as a business standpoint, you could go
for
either
sure.
route.
Yeah.
Well, and then when someone wants to wrap their car,
Yeah.
it's just sitting there and they have their car right there, and Zach's over there like squeegeeing some wrap on.
Right.
It's crazy where the future's heading. And honestly, it's pretty scary, to be honest.
I
with you.
agree, dude.
Especially with crypto. Like, I love crypto, but it's extremely scary. We're not going to have cash. We're not going to have these interactions that we're having now. I just don't like it, to be honest. It doesn't make it's like making us less human, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you need this kind of interaction between each other. You need to be in person for sure.
I agree.
Our kids are going to live a different world than we are living, for sure.
So do you think, and I've asked this a couple times before on here, but since we're on it, like we were shunned to play games too much, right? If you're sitting there like playing Xbox too long, you're not weird, but like your parents were like, hey, get off of that. You're having too much screen time or whatever, right? Do you think it's a bad thing for your guys' kids? I mean, you've got kids those ages, to be on electronics, viewing these things. I mean, they know how to work your phone better than you do. They know how to work iPads better than you do. Do you think it's bad? Because I'm like an old soul mindset of being like, hey, he shouldn't be on that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, why? This is going to be their world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why should I handicap them?
I personally can't tell you that I don't want to be that dad that's like, whatever, do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, that's like you just said, that's where the future's headed. And they need to adapt. The world's changing, and if we don't adapt, we're going to get left behind. Right? So I would rather them advance with the times and make sure that they know where how everything works and use that technology to their advantage. Because if they don't, like I said, they're going to be lost.
Yeah, and you're going to be playing catch up for a long time.
I don't want to be that dad that doesn't know how to work a DVD player. Like I want to be the dad that teaches them how to.
Well, like
do anything.
I could barely function a computer. And then I started getting into mining, and now I've built like 20 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
So like, I didn't even know how to function one.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride for you, hasn't it?
It's been, and the rewarding, but yet what makes it crazier is opening up about it, because really before we kind of jumped on here, I
You're
didn't
a
talk
closet miner?
well, even when you came in my store, I was like hesitant to even say anything.
Oh, I heard something run. I was like, dude, we got to check this out. Like, come on.
He mentioned that. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I never talked about it. I didn't know much was part of the problem. I didn't want to be like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff, and then have someone ask me a question and be like, dude, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, like you always learn. Everybody learns. If you're not learning something new every day, then you're not living. Like you have to learn something new every day.
And with crypto, with me, I mean, I would imagine it's this with everyone, but with me, it was like, are you too scared of the risk to get into it? And if you are, then don't, I mean, if you can't handle the risk, don't do it. And I've told people like, dude, with your personality, I don't think this is going to be a good thing for you.
I'd try to do the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. And well, like even I've got my grandpa in, so I've got my grandpa in a few things now, and I've got him in strong block and a couple things. And it's to the point where like and I love it. Like it's to the point where like we talk almost every day, and he'll call with questions. Sometimes like, I don't know, love you, grandpa, if you're listening, but like sometimes he'll ask the same question a couple times, but I understand he's like just trying to understand it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like I have so many different aspects of it. And then when people and I don't even feel like I'm in it that much. And like, for example, someone that works with my wife came over and talked to me about crypto for a little bit at the store. And he's thinking about getting into mining, thinking about buying up some and holding it. And so I just kind of told him, hey man, this is what I'm doing. Like, do your own research, And he leaves the next day, sees my wife, and he's like the most knowledgeable person I've ever talked to about crypto. And I'm like, dude, I don't know that much. Like I know like the 3 things I'm doing, and that's it, you know? Like I've tried to follow the Xpunk stuff on the Discord and different things, and even a lot of that's over my head.
No, me too.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about crypto is, like you were talking about risk, right? Honestly, like people that have been in business for themselves at any point in their life, or at least had that thought about it, are way more open to crypto. I've noticed it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good point, because you live with that risk every day, and betting on yourself learning processes and being able to evaluate different things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. So we just need to get an entrepreneurship crypto group.
We could start an NFT.
I think Zach should do that for us. I'll just sit there and learn. He can do it.
That's been my life the past 6 years. So.
He just coattails, man. That's me and Zach. I'm coattails.
Yep.
I'm like, will you please come on my podcast so you can give us some recognition in the crypto world?
Oh, yeah.
Anything new that you got going on with crypto stuff?
Honestly,
or anything you can talk about?
Honestly, still doing the same thing. Still doing NFTs, Xpunks, other projects on the XRPO that I'm day trading. You can make really good money, but you have to be plugged in, and I haven't been plugged in for a minute just because the shop's been so busy. Yeah,
Discord, like now that I know how to work it, it's like consumed me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm on it all the time now.
Yeah, there's so much wealth of information you can learn on there.
Yeah.
Know.
I have to put it on silent sometimes, or I can't get my stuff done. Seriously, it's just nonstop. There's people dropping nuggets that I need to remember that. And, forget all about it.
Well, and so this is interesting, and you can probably expound how this works. Have you heard of Rug Radio?
No.
You guys know that one? Mm-hmm. So it just launched the token. So today's February 10th?
10th, yes.
Yeah, February 10th. So they launched it yesterday. So I had a friend tell me, hey, man, check this out. I'm doing it. I'm in. I've got a lot of my family in, but, your choice. Look into it. So what you had to do was, the whitelisted people and the people in the beginning, they got NFT for free.
So that's an Ethereum project if it's whitelisted then, right?
Yeah, it is Ethereum, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good. Well, no, so they gave them a membership pass for free. Well, explain this to me. Let me jump in. And I don't even know what this is, but it's a Web3. Does that mean anything to you?
So the web is transitioning from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. Web 2.0 is like what we're experiencing now, right? You can get on Facebook, you can get on YouTube, you can go onto Google and find any information at your fingertips in a split second. Web 3.0 expands on that and adds value to the internet, so we can move value easily.
Okay, because they're like a Web3 media company is what they would say they are. So anyway, so they just dropped the token yesterday. Let me back up. So they gave the free membership passes out. When this guy told me, it was already past that point, but they were on OpenSea where you could buy the memberships. And so I went in and bought a membership, cost me like $600, I think. And then he was like, hey, they're dropping NFTs like in 2 days. And everyone that has a membership will get an NFT. You just have to pay gas fees to mint it, right? Mm-hmm. So it cost
$1 million in gas fees.
I was going to say, this is going to be good. How much did it cost?
It actually was like 0.1 Ethereum, so $300, $400. So I'm into it about $1,000, right? In Ethereum. And so then you get that NFT. Well, it does nothing for you right now, and it's a random NFT. They have 3 levels of the NFT. And then yesterday they dropped the coin. Depending on what level of NFT you have, they give you more coins or less coins. Well, when I found out that they're giving like bonus coins to hold it, when they drop it, I went and bought a second. So I have like level 2, by random. And then I went and bought another level 2. And so I doubled up everything that I was getting. And then I find out that it's just a utility token. Like there's no value to it, I guess. Right. And so, and they're not even having like a tradable platform for it to wrapped ETH or anything. You want to give us a rundown of what wrapped ETH is or wrapping a coin?
And you know how I feel about Ethereum.
I know. You could just explain it better than me.
So basically, wrapping something allows it to be transmitted on a different blockchain.
Okay.
So it removes some limitations that Ethereum has, such as high gas fees, high transaction times when the blockchain's congested.
Okay. So, so anyway, so I find out that there's no like dollar amount to it and no platform to trade it. And this is like days before it drops. And I'm just like, oh crap. And I got 2 other buddies in on with me. And I'm like, dude, we might have just made a mistake. Like we might be into this thing for $1,000 and there's no dollar value even assigned or projected for this. And then they did, which the Discord's cool, man. I would say anyone that's like hesitant or doesn't know or just wants to learn more of what you're doing, Discord is hard to navigate for lame people like me. But once you figure it out, it's incredible what you can learn on that thing. Yeah. So they did what they called a town hall. And just all the developers got on and spoke about what they're doing and what's going to launch. And then they had questions where like you could raise your hand on their little platform and they would call on you and then unmute you so you could ask your question to the developers. So then I found out that there will be a market, but it's going to be someone else that sets that, I guess. So they were saying like, we're not going to have a platform, but somebody will, we assume. That someone will open it up. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh crap, dude, I hope somebody does, you know?
Yeah.
And then what they're doing with those coins is you can buy their DAO token with the coins that you're getting, right? What's a DAO, Zach?
To be honest, I'd have to look it up. I know what it is, but yeah.
The way I understand it is it gives you ownership, or not ownership, more of like a vote in their ecosystem, in their platform, whatever word you want to put to it. You looking it up?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, so you can take these coins that they're giving you, and then they give you a daily reward as well. And
So
by
a DAO, is a decentralized autonomous organization.
English.
A decentralized oh my god, you're gonna have to edit all this. Decentralized oh my god, I can't even say that.
Autonomous?
A decentralized autonomous organization, sometimes called the Decentralized Autonomous Corporation, is an organization represented by rules encoded as a computer program that is transparent, controlled by the organization members, and not influenced by a central government.
Okay. So the members. So you're buying one of these, and now you kind of have a vote in the direction of the project.
Basically, like you're on the board, basically.
Yeah. And so the second that this token drops, Dex Tools, I never heard of that. That was a new thing for me.
Never heard of them.
So it's dextools.io. So everyone was like, hey, the coin's at $2, the coin's at $2. And I'm like, you can't even trade it, you know, like how is this even a thing? And someone's like, get on dextools.io and it's on there. Search rug, and it's on there. So I pull it up. Sure enough, there it is. People trading it, and it has like all the transactions flowing through, and then you could take that contract and paste it into Uniswap, and there it was. You could swap it. And so I was like, okay, good. There's actually like a dollar amount signed to this now because I was freaking out a little bit. But that's just a little experience of what I've been doing the last month and a half. But it's cool to like be in a project where I knew nothing about it. I just had to start reading everything, and I'm a very slow reader, so that takes me a long time. And then being able to like get the original NFT drop and then get the original coin with bonuses. And it feels like it's one of those things like you're doing, like one of those things where you're in on the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I think in crypto, especially right now with how it's booming, like that's the goal.
Yeah. It helps.
Yeah.
It definitely helps.
I mean, like when you guys started getting into crypto, what were the prices of some of the popular ones?
Well,
do you remember?
XRP was half a cent.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was like what, $400 or $500?
$400-$500.
Bitcoin's just hit 40,000 again.
Yeah, I think earlier it was like 41,000.
Yeah, just came back over
and it got
that.
up to 69,000.
Yeah.
So, thinking back on how much, because we used to process memberships for our platform with Bitcoin in certain countries that wouldn't allow credit cards, and thinking, I mean, we think about this often and it makes us absolutely sick, but thinking of how many Bitcoins we had when it was $400 to $700 a coin,
Yeah.
as opposed to what we would have now, Yeah.
Well, what did you guys
hard
do?
pill to
What happened to all
swallow.
that?
Well, we at the
Just
time
traded it and did different things.
No, at the time it was like that was membership fees, so
Oh.
we paid commissions with that. We paid our bills, paid our
Got
employees,
ya.
and it was just revenue.
You're right.
We didn't think anything of it.
Just another currency to pay whatever.
If we would have saved even just 10% of what we had, I mean, you would probably be on our podcast. I'm joking. But seriously, there's so many stories like that too. People that bought Bitcoin back in 2010 and lost their keys to their password to their account.
Yeah.
That are millionaires right now and they can't access it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell him that if he could develop a way to get into those accounts and split the profit with the people, he would be a very wealthy man.
Oh, multi-millionaire.
Yeah. But
So get on it, man.
Too many other projects.
that's a very important one. That should take priority. Yeah, it's crazy. Just Ethereum, I think at that time was, what was it?
Oh, I don't even know. Probably like $50.
Yeah, it was
40
stupid.
bucks.
That's when we were
$60.
looking at mining was back then. So there was a big rally in 2017, and we built a bunch of mining rigs in our warehouse out in Hurricane at the time. We had a whole it was pretty cool, the mining farm we built. And right as we were getting ready to launch it, everything tanked.
Yeah.
And it cost more to mine than it was.
It's not profitable anymore.
So that was fun.
I mean,
But-
I think that's coming again pretty soon, right? When Ethereum 2.0 drops and you can't mine it anymore. And then all those other coins it's going to force everybody to. It's not going to be profitable to do it.
There will always be different coins you can mine, I'm sure. Like, I don't know if you've heard El Salvador, what they're doing. They're mining Bitcoin. They're actually, they're switching their whole infrastructure to Bitcoin now. And what the president there is doing, he's a younger guy, actually. He's doing some pretty cool stuff. But what he's doing is he's using volcano steam or smoke, I don't know what it is, to power the mining facilities that he has. And he has the most insane mining facility for Bitcoin. So there's Bitcoin, there's tons of other coins that you can mine, but
Well, like I've mined a few other ones, but they're not even close to the profitability of Ethereum.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean is like, it's going to, those gains that you're used to getting is not going to
Mining will go away, in my opinion.
completely.
The reason why is because if you really talk, or not necessarily talk, but listen to what people with money are talking about. What's the guy's name? Kevin O'Leary. You heard him talk about Bitcoin?
No, I know he is, but
So Bitcoin is extremely dirty because of how much electricity it costs to mine. And honestly, if you look at the World Economic Forum, the IMF, any of these high organizations, they're the same way. They want carbon zero, just like cars. Look at all the cars. Everything's going to electric, which is honestly just as bad for the environment, if not worse.
yeah, I'm like, I
that's
can do
another
a whole
story.
podcast on that.
oh yeah.
Right? But yeah, I think it's going to go away, honestly.
I mean, just because of the energy consumption.
Yes, just to power Bitcoin, I think it uses like as much electricity as Switzerland or something like that.
Well, and isn't that like China claims that they shut it down?
Yeah, but all the countries are so wishy-washy on crypto. It's going to get banned. It's not going to get banned. It's going to get banned, but it's here to stay. I mean, you can't get rid of it.
You can't stop it.
Yeah. Dude, I love your posts when like there'll be a headline about something and then he'll be like, yeah, it's probably nothing.
I know.
That's my favorite thing
I
to
know.
see because I was that a year ago.
Yeah.
So I had a brother-in-law that had some crypto. He kind of talked to me about it a little bit and it kind of just opened my mind to the possibility of it. And then I'd actually talked to a few customers that had bought safes from me. And that's what kind of got me into it. And one guy was like, dude, if you just want to dabble in it a little bit, he's all couple grand. You could get into one of these mining rigs. It'll just make you a little bit of Ethereum, and you can kind of just start playing with it. And so that's what I did. I bought enough to do one rig. And I think before I even had all the parts there, because I'm staying up every night reading about it, before I even had all the parts to assemble the one rig, I'd bought enough to build two more. And so I had 3 rigs right off the bat. And then my brother helped me with a lot of it. And we transferred it, from MetaMask, crypto.com into my bank account. And once it hit my bank account, I'm like, well, shit, dude, it's real. It's there. Yep. Like, you can't tell me it's fake. It's there. Yep. And so then I was just a full dive into it after that.
Yep. Once you get that first deposit, it changes everything.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that crypto is like nothing, like it's worth nothing. It's monopoly money. But really, I mean, when's the last time you've had cash? I mean, right. I don't have cash ever. Nobody really has cash anymore. We're already using debit cards, so it's really no different than that, honestly.
Well, and that's the rebuttal I give everyone that kind of questions it. And again, I'm like, dude, if it's not for you, great. Like, I don't know what you're going to do when the government takes $1 away, but knock yourself out. Yep. Venmo might take you so far. But I'm like, that's what you're already doing. Yep. Online banking is this. It's the same thing, except for this is 24/7 and it's worldwide. And it's not just the US dollar, right? It's worldwide. Venmo, I mean, that when you send it from one wallet to another, that's Venmo. It's the same thing. So I'm always like, you're already doing it. You just don't know you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It just hasn't been put in those terms before.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that you've heard about people dogging crypto? Do you have a story on anything? I'm just curious because I'm starting, like, now that I feel like I'm kind of getting in front of it with a couple podcasts we've done, and I've been a lot more vocal with it with my friends. And now I've just heard a lot of crazy things, and I'm like, no. Like, that's not even what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're so far out in right field, man.
A lot of that is misinformation.
Yeah.
It's just they haven't taken the time to actually educate themselves on what it is. But I think I could probably speak for both of us when I say this, but even family members, when we first got into it, and they're like, "Oh no, that's nothing. It's a scam. You're gonna lose your money, whatever the case is."
Well, in 2017, I told you the same thing too.
Right. Now, fast forward, those same people see what we've done, and are reaching out. Hey, man, how can I get involved in this? Oh, by the way, I didn't know what you were talking about originally. It was too new, right? The difference is I was open-minded, they weren't. That's all it comes down to. As long as you're open-minded and you're willing to learn and listen to people talk to you about something, who knows? It could change your life.
Yeah.
It changed ours.
Yeah.
And all it took was, I think we were in Vegas, 2016.
Partying it up with
I don't even remember why we were down there.
Yeah, right.
It's probably when we rented out a penthouse suite for my birthday.
That's probably what it was. And one of our friends was with us, and we were driving from dinner or something. And he's in the back seat. He's like, "Hey, have you guys heard of XRP?" That was it. We're not even. He pulled out his laptop while I'm driving us to dinner. He helped set up a wallet, which back then was super complicated. I didn't even bother. He set mine up at the time, and our buddy sent us like 30 XRP to activate the wallet, and we're like, "Okay, cool, it's activated." I think from that point, the price went from a third of a cent to half a cent. Like, the price is moving, let's buy some. We put in some money, and by 2017, it changed our lives. It completely changed our lives. So, again, I could have just been like, "Oh, no, I never heard about it. Cool." Just kept driving.
Yeah, let's get to the club.
Yeah. But what did he do? He pulls his laptop out while I'm driving, hooks up to a hotspot, and buys XRP.
Was it him or someone else?
Our buddy told us.
Oh, it was your buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in the back seat, and he was sitting next to me, and he did it right then and there.
Huh.
We come back to St. George. We get all of our other guys that worked with us at the time. Brooks was one of them.
Yeah.
He sets everyone's wallets up, and they all buy some. And you talk to him.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big advocate for it. So, but yeah, it's all a matter of being open-minded.
Well, and I'm like, I mean, if you have, if disposable income's the right word for it. Like, if you have some money, even if you don't believe in it, I'm like, just put it in something and see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my thought always is, with the caveat that there are some people that I don't think should be in it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it controls a lot of my life right now. And one thing with that strong block is it's making me rewards back. And so it's like, now I'm taking some of those rewards and putting it into these other projects.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's getting me into like the Rug Radio and these different ones that I've put into. It's funny because there's one called Probably Nothing. Like that's what it's called.
Probably his.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it's on Ethereum, so I know it's
No,
not.
it's definitely not his. Scratch that.
And so there's one called Probably Nothing, and if you hold any, so they have different levels that they're doing like random NFT drops, and it's like a draw, it's a raffle, right, with your wallet address, and if you hold like 1 to 100,000, you're in this category. 100,000 to 500,000, you're this category, and then above 500 million, above 500 million. But it's one of those that's like a fraction of a penny, right?
Yeah.
So like if you bought $500,000 right now, it'd cost you like $2,100.
Yeah.
And so I had a guy tell me about it, so I bought in, and then it tanks. I mean, it tanks. Like it. My wife's going to listen to this, so maybe I shouldn't say it, but
I've got plenty of those. I'm sorry.
overall I'm ahead. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
But,
That's all that matters.
but I mean, it went from what I'd bought in at like $7,000 down to what it's at now at 2. And I was like, well, there goes $5,000, you know?
Yeah.
And so I had a buddy that also bought in some. He didn't buy in as much as I did. And he's like, shit, dude, it's tanking, you know? And so it's just shifted my mindset, because instead of being like wanting to bail and try and get what money I can back out, I went and bought another 500 million of them. So now I've got like 2 different wallets where I'm setting on 500 million on 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, man, that just doubled my chances of getting one of these NFTs instead of the panic sell, right?
That's the worst thing you can do. At that point, you just hold.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Well, that's where I'm at.
Exactly.
There's another one I'm in that's like a staking, and then it pays you a APY.
Which one's that?
Hector is this one, and it did the same thing. It was in the hundreds,
Yeah.
and it's at $23 right now.
I'm in the exact same boat with one that my buddy got me into.
What's that called?
Crown.
Crown.
Yeah. The guy that got him into it, I guess, had made like $100,000 that week, in 1 week from the return, because
Holy
the
cow.
percentage, the APY was insane.
Oh, it's like 70,000%.
Right. So I did what you should never do, and that's buy at the top, of course. So 227 per coin at the time. I bought like $3,000 or something. Sorry, babe. And
She's
then,
like, and we're a home eating
Yeah,
ramen? That's
I
some
know.
bullshit.
then it takes, and I think it sat at $17 for like the past month. And he texted me yesterday, actually. It's funny. I was sitting at home. He texted me. He's like, hey, check your Crown. And I hadn't checked it since I saw it at 17 because it made me sick. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'll set it and forget it on that one, right? So I check it, and I'm back up. I'm like $1,100 up. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to sell it. Go to sell it, and they're charging a 30% tax. So I got to wait 7 days, and by then the price is going to tank again. So yeah, you got to be careful what you're getting into, because
Right.
there's so
Do
many
your research.
Do your research.
There's so many people that are like, get in this, and it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes people listen and they're getting in right at the top, and then there's a price correction, like there always is, and
Right.
there always will be. Price doesn't always just go up, right? Like it has to retrace, and
Yeah.
then they take everyone's money because everyone panic sells. It's not a loss till you sell, and it's not a win till you sell.
Well, that Hector one, I was like my buddy's like, dude, it's a rug pull. It's a rug pull. It's going away. This thing's going to 0. And he's like freaking out. And I just told him, I was like, dude, I would rather have this thing go to 0 and lose all of it. Like take that chance versus panic selling now and losing $5,000. And I was like, so I'm going to sit in, dude, and I'm going to see what it does. And they do have a lot of, in English, they're trying to set up like a crypto bank where you can take loans against it. And
That's scary right now,
yeah,
because the SEC is going after everybody.
really.
Oh yeah.
Trust me.
And so, but they have like all these plans. Yeah, trust me. They have all these plans
wasn't the
for it, I guess
SEC.
is what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll just keep it in there. They've got big plans for 2022. Let's see what it does. But
That's
I
the
don't know.
thing with crypto. You have to almost take a blind leap of faith into something. But I mean, if you do your enough research and really understand what you're getting into, then you'll be fine. You know, if you talked about panic selling, like people panic sell because they don't know what they have.
yeah,
Plain and simple.
true.
And
Do you
if
believe in
know-
it or do you not?
Exactly.
And your entry is everything.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, like the meme coin thing.
Mm-hmm.
He hates meme coins. My dad, he's been trading. He started trading when I did, so he gets in this. He's I don't know. He's a different breed. Well, that's another whole other podcast when it
Love
comes
you,
to
Papa
that.
Wee.
Love you, Papa Wee. But
So we have to get Paul Senior on here.
Next podcast.
Yeah.
but he made a grundle on Dogecoin.
I bet.
And
A
which is-
grundle, dude. I've
yeah.
never heard anyone say that word but my mom.
Really?
I don't know where grundle comes from, but I
either,
love
actually.
it.
I don't think I've ever even said that word. Whatever. And then Shiba.
Like you're like a 50-year-old lady. I didn't mean to call you that.
And I'm gonna see my way up. And Shiba. Right?
Yep.
I think that might have been my fault. I texted him and I was like, "Yo, I just got this message from this guy I know in Miami. He's got Shiba. You know, he said it's gonna skyrocket."
Was that before it did?
Before it did, dude. And he's like, "All right, cool." And I didn't even buy any. I kick myself in the butt all the time for not buying any, but he bought like, I can't remember. I think it might have been like $1,000. And dude,
Yeah.
when he saw the price,
Maybe like 10 times.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah, I got it on my crypto.com card. Look, he went to the Dominican Republic with my mom on Shiba's
On
dime.
Shiba?
Yeah. Like he's going on vacations, went to California, sent my mom to back home to El Salvador. Like he's, just living off of Shiba. It's crazy.
See, I messed up on that one.
Yeah,
So I
me too.
did that one, and like I do most of my stuff on crypto.com when I'm moving things around. So they have a coin.
CRO.
CRO, yeah.
I'm so sad that I sold it. I sold it before they bought the Staples Center a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had bought them both. I put $2,000 into both of them. And when they were nothing, right? Well, I think crypto.com's coin was 20 cents or whatever it was. And I was learning more about the app and found out that you can put it in like an account that pays you interest, right? And so it's like, hey, if you lock this in for 3 months, we'll pay you 6% interest on it. And so I was like, well, I'm never selling either one of these. Like, I don't know when it's going to hit, but I can't imagine it's anytime soon.
Yeah.
Idiot, right? So I lock them both up into 3-month accounts. And then it wasn't like 2 weeks later, they both freaking skyrocket.
No.
And I think my sheep got up to like, I call it sheep, when it got up to like 22 grand. And then, yeah, my crypto.com got to like, I think like 9 or 10 grand, I think. So I'd made 30 grand off of four. But it was locked up. I couldn't do anything with it.
Oh, that's
So I couldn't hold it. I couldn't do nothing. Yeah. And so then it tanks. And
You still got your percentage.
yeah. So I was talking, I'll drop Blake Nyson's name. I was talking to Blake Nyson the other day. Well, it's been about a month now. And I was like, dude, I got my 3% of Shiba Inu that gave me like $30 and I lost like 9 grand because I couldn't freaking move it.
Oh, man. That hurts.
Yeah.
That
So
hurts,
that was my lesson on those.
Yep.
So I've actually moved to Voyager. Is the new app. I've moved most of my stuff into that because if you hold it in their wallet, it'll have an interest rate that it just pays you just to hold it, but it doesn't lock it up into a term.
That's awesome.
And so I moved all my sheep over to that.
Send me your referral link after this.
Okay, I will. And then there's if you own 500 of their coin, it like boosts everything by 0.5%.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
gives you like different bonuses for owning their coin.
Yeah.
And then there's other levels to that. I think the next level's like 5,000 of their coin, which is like 10 grand. And so I'm not there yet, but
Oh, you got it.
No.
Oh, wait. It was lost with Shiba.
yeah, if it wasn't locked up in crypto.com.
That sucks, man. That's horrible.
Well, and I've moved some of that stuff around now. So like just on that one alone, I made all my money back that I put into the app day one.
No, good.
That's awesome.
But it's just funny, man. It's a funny world getting into it and doing all that. And one thing that I don't know about, and I know that both of you guys probably know, is just the reading the candlesticks and the graphs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, if you guys put like a mastermind together and it was you had to buy an NFT, right? To get the program and watch the video of it, I would study the crap out of that.
That's what we used to do.
Right.
That's what our company was.
Right.
Education. Yeah.
And dude, I'd be all over that.
We have hours and hours and hours and hours of education from FXC.
You do right now?
Yeah.
We still have all of our material.
Sell it to me. Or let me just take you to lunch and you can show me.
Oh, here we go. Backtracking, Derick. I'll sell you the NFT to get access to
There you go.
Here, how about this? We'll create the NFT and then we'll sell it together.
There you go.
All right.
That works.
You got the NFT to our education project.
Oh yeah, and
on NFTs.
And I'm not just saying this because it's ours, but it was phenomenal education.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
There's a lot of people that made a lot of money learning how to trade from that.
Still to this day.
To this day.
You should tell them about what's his name? You were showing me the other day. I can't remember.
He's all what's
Carlos?
it?
I think it was, yeah.
Carlos, he actually, we didn't teach him how to trade. He joined us and would teach our Spanish customers. Because we had people in Spain, Costa Rica, and Mexico, all over the Spanish-speaking countries, and he would do live sessions and teach them. But this guy is a phenomenal trader. The last time I saw, he has 6-figure days, day trading for
days,
yes.
Dang.
And when you're talking a $10,000 day is phenomenal,
right?
And you up that to $50,000 days, it doesn't even seem real. So let alone a 6-figure day when people are, 6 figures a year is a good living here, right?
Yeah. That's twice the average income.
Exactly. So when these kids, and I call them kids, I'm going to be 32 in 6 days, but he's like 20 something, living in Miami, living the best life you can imagine. It's
he's
insane.
balling out.
Yeah. And from what? From reading candlesticks.
Yeah. From learning how to do it and reading it.
Yeah.
Trading currency.
Mm-hmm.
Fake internet currency, right? Monopoly money.
Euro versus US dollar. It's real money.
Yeah, it's leveraged, so you can definitely make a lot of money. You could lose a lot of money. It doesn't just go one way, obviously.
Yeah. What's I don't know, maybe we shouldn't, because I know we toe a fine line of we're not lawyers, we're not investment whatever, we're
investment advisors.
Yeah, we're not those people, right? We're just in here
like to have fun.
We're just dudes talking about crypto, right?
Yeah.
So there's no legalities to any of this, but I'm just like, I think that's my next step in the crypto game is learn, because I can look at the graphs and I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of what I think, but there's zero science or zero anything to that guess. It's a guess. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's my next step, is trying to figure out how to, I don't know if predict's the right word, because I don't know if you can ever predict it, but you can kind of see the trends, if that's the right way to put it.
There's a couple ways to look at it. You can try to predict it, or you can react. And that's more of what I try to do. I don't try to say this is what I think it's going to do. I wait for the move to happen, and then I ride the wave. And not a lot of people are like that. We have friends that are complete opposites. That's the funny thing about trading, and why I probably won't ever do education again. Basically, when I teach someone how to trade, I can teach you how candlesticks work. I can teach you how trends work. I can teach you supply and demand, the market structure, all the fine, lingo to trading. But it's never going to matter because you don't think the way I think. Your emotions aren't the way mine. You're not emotional like me. Your psychology is different than mine. The way that you manage your risk is different than mine. So realistically, and I'm probably shouldn't even say this, but starting that trading company for anyone that's still doing it is never going to work. Because of that fact. I can never teach you my strategy. I can teach you the overall, and then you take it and run with it
and adapt it and
you adapt
apply
it
to me,
to your personality, your psychology, your risk to reward, and then you kind of see where you want to take your trading. But me and him, when I showed him what I was wanting to do, he didn't know how to trade. I never taught him. He taught himself. The next time I went to his house, after that time I told you that me and my dad went and met with him, he had already opened an account and started trading.
He's a closet genius,
dude. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. I've been like, dude, I've been busting my ass for years learning this stuff, and I come to your house and the next day you already have it all figured out. And he was making money. We have another friend, bro. Again, I keep going to Brooks because he's always been trading with us.
Yeah,
sees the market completely different. His emotions are way different than mine, and his risk is way different than mine. He's way more by the book than I am, and that's fine. It's whatever works for you, right? But again, I don't think anyone can learn how to trade just like the person that's teaching them.
Yeah, here's my A, here's my B, here's my C. Now you do it.
Yeah. And the people that tell you that you usually just
scary.
want your money.
Yeah.
And they want your membership.
Well, I was, so since I've been doing this podcast, I'll follow people, Rogan, Gary Vee, that's why I said I saw clips of Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
And so I follow all that stuff on TikTok. And so it just feeds those things back to me, right? When I'm going through just exploring. And so when I'm at the store a lot of the times and I'm just doing like monotonous stuff, I'll put one of my earbuds in and I'll just listen to different quotes and different things. And it helps me hear because it gives me a different thought process, gives me different things.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's why I was saying Gary Vee. But I came across one that a guy was like, okay, this is what the candlestick and this is this and this is the supply. And it like was way over my head. Right. But I was like, okay, that's probably the next thing I need to learn because I feel pretty comfortable with everything I'm doing, but I just don't know what's the next thing or when to move stuff or when to sell stuff or like, I'm not really trading at all. Like I'm just buying and holding.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's what the majority of the people do is buy and hold.
The nice thing about candlesticks, though, and learning how to trade and read charts is it can be applied to any market. It's not specific to crypto. It's not specific to Forex. It's not specific to stocks. It's all the same. The data is the same. It's all a matter of how you manipulate it in your favor, really.
And if you follow that 20, 30, 40 years ago from when this actually, however long ago that this started, nothing's changed with the way price moves.
So you're even like housing market, gold market, silver market, all that stuff. It's all
there's a reason
data.
they were able to predict the crash in 2008, right? Everything is data, like you said. And if you know how to read data, then as long as you're right more than you're wrong, you're good.
As long as you're right more than you're wrong.
Yep.
We've taken losses trading Forex. I mean,
big time.
You take losses, but it's all on how you deal with that loss and moving forward. And really, trading is all psychology. Like, there's little tiny skill set that you need to know. Once you know that skill set, it's all about mastering the psychology behind trading. If you don't have that down, you're going to lose money 100% of the time.
I take one trade a day.
Okay.
One trade a day. At 7:30 a.m., that's when the market opens in New York, right? Back east. I know where the market's going to go. Again, I'm contradicting myself because I said I don't like to predict. I like to react, but hear me out. Depending on what the price is doing, the 3 minutes before 7:30 a.m., I can usually tell which way I'm going to react, right? Because in the pair that I trade, there's usually a fake out and then a correction and then a continuation. So what I do, I'm not a greedy person. There's guys that ride that whole wave and make a ton of money. I like to just catch that correction, get out, and then I'm done. And then I put my phone away. I won't look at the charts. I won't, because
you're better than me, man.
Kills you.
Yeah.
Greed is the number one killer when it comes to day trading. Not knowing when to stop, because you get sucked in. Yeah. And it happens to everyone. Every single person that I know that has ever gotten into trading wants to trade 24/7 because the market's open 24/7. The Forex market anyway,
right?
And crypto, 24/5 and 24/7 for crypto. But yeah.
Yeah. So are you doing a lot of stocks and different things too?
Futures is what I'm mainly doing now.
Okay. So that's what you were talking about.
Indices, yeah.
Okay. Because I did, and it kind of got my feet wet into this with, I think we've talked about this, where I got Robinhood, and that's when I bought Doge the first time, and then you realize, then you learn you didn't even buy it, right? And that's a whole nother thing. But, and I've had a few stocks like most of my life that I've done nothing with. I just bought in at one point in time. And my grandma is a huge like stock market person, so she showed me how to do a lot of that.
That's cool.
But I was kind of like, okay, I'm in this Robinhood app and it's super easy just to buy and sell and you can get fractions of them. And so I started doing that. And then once I got into crypto, I was like pulling all the money out I could out of all these stocks. Like,
sounds similar to my story.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm positive, and to this day, I have, I think just a couple grand left, but everything's in the tank right now. And I'm like, as soon as that thing breaks even, I'm yanking it.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it more into crypto.
Yeah.
And so I'm, for better, I mean, I don't know. Talk to me in 10 years and we'll see if this was a good move or not. But
all of us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pulling everything I can out of stocks and putting it into crypto.
Yeah.
I drained my 401k that I had from previous employment. Like, yeah, I only trade for myself. I mean, and some people call that crazy, but what do you make on 401k? Nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
the percentages just aren't there.
That was a savings account for me.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. I mean, you're just putting money away into a savings account till you're 70 and then you
they're
pull
making
it.
a lot of money because they're
And
doing
they're
the same
killing
thing
it.
we're doing,
Yeah.
but on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I talk in hundreds and thousands. They don't talk in hundreds and thousands.
No, that's not even worth it for them.
Let's talk about just some stories that you guys have been through with crypto. If you've got anything that you want to touch on, we're just over an hour. So what do you got anything you want to just talk about? Maybe some learning experiences that you've been through? I know we've kind of touched on some, but we're going to kind of tag this as a exclusive wraps and crypto episode. So
Yeah.
or if there's more about the wraps and that business you want to talk about, we can jump back to that too.
Yeah, honestly, I think when it comes to crypto, I've been pretty lucky to not make some mistakes that most people have made because of Zach.
Yeah.
Not only that, but because you've been involved in trading before.
Yeah. And just, you know how easy it is to lose access to an account, right? I mean, I don't know if that's probably never happened to you, but it's happened to tons of people. I've been fortunate that hasn't happened to me. Also, you keep talking about Robinhood and Crypto.com, and for some reason they don't let me open an account with them. So I've never
You're
used
just too
them.
big time, dude.
No, definitely not. But I get rejected every time. My wife can open one. She has CRO in her account. I can't get one for some reason, but I don't know why I brought that up. I'm jealous that you guys can have that and I can't. You talk about Robinhood and I'm like, they reject
Dude,
my
Robin,
account every time.
I don't even like Robinhood now. Like
No,
I said,
yeah,
I
for
just pull all my stuff out and get out of it.
Honestly,
when it first opened, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, when they did the shenanigans they did with GameStop is what really lost my respect 100% for Robinhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, whether it's an organized group making a move or whatever. It's the same thing for hedge funds. They do the same thing behind the scenes.
Right.
Like, I think them going after Wall Street bets is ridiculous. It's people. It's millions of people getting together for one goal. I mean, hedge funds do it all the time, and because the hedge funds lost money, that they get in trouble. Like, it makes no sense to me.
No sense. Even when they were going into maintenance mode, when Doge was booming, that's where I was like, okay, something's fishy here. Like, this can't be right. They can't allow this.
My Uphold did that the other day. When XRP went from 60 something cents until almost, I think it hit 90
91.
in a matter of 2 days. Yeah. I was like, let me check my account. I couldn't even get in.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't have my
It's because
XRP in there. I have a
the
little bit.
screen's not that big to see all the zeros.
No, I have a very, very small amount in that. I keep my stuff on a ledger offline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I bought a ledger. We had talked about that, and I had bought one. I'm like scared to use it because I don't even know how to use it. Are they very complicated?
No,
I thought they were.
easy.
I thought they were in the beginning, but it's so simple.
Well, because I loaded it onto MetaMask and I connected it. I did all of that, but I'm like moving my stuff around every day.
Yeah.
And so my thought was like, why would I put this on Ledger and lock it in my safe when I'm like need it every day to move stuff around?
If you're that active with it, it's probably not the best thing for you.
But if I'm like holding a large amount of something,
Yeah.
that's where you would use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my XRP was on my ledger since 2016 until recently. I dumped all my XRP for NFTs, and which I can get back for XRP when I sell. But yeah, I mean, if you're moving
I'm on it
stuff
every
around,
day.
yeah, then there's no need for a ledger. Just make sure what you do is safe, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having your wallet online like that is still scary.
Like,
That's like my savings account. My kids' college fund.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about like with this strong block one, opening an account and in my mind just knowing that's for my son, and just like whatever happens, and if it builds, great. If it doesn't, whatever. I didn't lose anything anyway.
Yeah.
But I've thought about moving some in and just letting
it sit there.
and just kind of forgetting about it. Other than you have to pay like a monthly fee, but other than that, just forgetting about it and just letting it build. But when are we building when are we going to make an NFT? I'm serious. So what does that entail? How crazy
Marketing.
is it?
A lot of marketing.
That's
You got to be able to
mostly
sell it. You got to, like I said in the beginning, you got to bring some sort of value to it. What's going to make people want to buy it?
Well, so let's say it's your guys' education stuff.
Yeah. It's just at that point, it's a matter of marketing. And unfortunately, one thing I hate about the Forex market on social media is how they sell it. And I'm talking about like the gurus, the trading companies, whatever. They sell a certain lifestyle that realistically not everyone's going to get or have. You know, they're driving around on rented Lambos and whatever the case is.
Yeah, posting pictures.
Yeah, rent an Airbnb for the weekend with theater money. That's not the reality. The reality is much worse. Trading is super stressful in the beginning.
Yeah.
You could lose all your money if you're not careful. If you don't know how to manage your risk, you're screwed.
Right.
You know? So that false hope, I guess, that they sell is no good. So we were a lot different. There was never a single picture that we ever posted that was like that, about that certain lifestyle. It was all education, all results, real results, and our live sessions. That was the biggest hit. So bringing value, everything is the amount of money you make is based off of the value you bring.
So what we need to do, so like, for example, we make because I'm in the gun business. So let's say the firearm business. So let's say we make an NFT that gives you discounts at different stores. I mean, that's how you would do it.
Yeah.
And then you would just, because I think the one thing that crypto's lacking is, like, there's so much information on Discord, but it's on Discord. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I never even heard of Discord.
Yeah.
And so and Telegram and all these other ones. I almost feel like it just, and why haven't they, I guess, is my other question. Like, why hasn't this been kind of mainstreamed? Like, well, I started like a little Facebook crypto group, and more than not, just to like get some people familiar about talking about it. Yeah. And it hasn't, we were active for like a couple of days, and then it's kind of flatlined after that. But I don't know. I just feel like this wouldn't be so taboo if there was more conversations happening about it. I
agree.
And it's not on an app that for people that are new is extremely hard to navigate.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's more of like there needs to be some kind of like more personal interaction with it for sure, because that's where you can really get to the bottom of what crypto is.
So we just need to go like rent a hotel meeting room and just throw a crypto lunch.
Yeah,
there you go.
We used to do that all the time. It's fun.
Yeah, dude. I'm over here acting like I'm coming up with new ideas.
No.
Paul's like, hey, we did that like 5 years ago.
No, really though, that's a really cool way to get people excited about something. Put them in a room, and talk, and have multiple people talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And have Zach get up there and explain it all, and people just be like, what?
Exactly.
Layman terms.
Yeah, that's what I was good. That's all I'm always like. That first day you came into my store, I was like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, you got to dumb this down for me a little bit.
That happens a lot.
And then he starts like citing people's names and different dates that things have happened. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, you're way over my head. I need to hang around you a little bit more.
You definitely learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
Hanging around him.
Well, anything else? Anything else you guys want to touch on? See, I did want this to kind of be an exclusive wraps, telling us what you guys did and kind of going from there. But I figured with most of my day being consumed by crypto and having you guys on here, it would turn to that at some point.
Oh, that was cool. I don't mind at all. That was fun.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so much out there, so much info, free info. YouTube I call it YouTube University. You can learn anything on there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I learned to build rigs.
Yeah, exactly.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, everything's on there. Everything's on the internet for free. It's just a matter of how willing you are to put a little bit of work in to find out and learn.
Yeah. And I don't know, for me, it was like, I didn't even understand it, but I was still willing to put a little bit of money in it and see what happens.
Same. You take a risk, right?
Right.
And has it paid off for you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing okay on it.
Exactly. No, same.
What about you, Zach? You got anything else?
Check out our shop. It's on Sunset, right across from Derick's, 1330 West Sunset Boulevard, Suite H. You can check us out online, exclusiveautowraps.com. Phone number is 435-355-5559. If you guys have any questions related to automotive appearance, we'd love to get you in the shop, show you what we have going on, and go from there.
And our social media is Exclusive Wraps and Tint on all platforms.
And say, if you're even just a car guy or a car girl or you just like cool projects and seeing cool stuff, follow the Instagram. I mean,
Yeah.
that's mainly what I interact on that all the time, because I'm just like, oh, like you'll repost what the business posts, and I always just jump on that.
Yeah, we try to post every day what we're doing, because every day there's new projects. So we try to keep very up to date on that. There's every day at least one post.
You guys are doing good at that, because we started that at the store when we moved to this new location, and I had like 2 younger kids working with me, and that was one of their daily tasks is to do a social media post. And then one of them had moved on into a different business, and the other kid, we just he was in football. He's in high school still, so he was in football, and so he wasn't always at the store every day, and we just got out of the habit, I guess.
Yeah.
And I can definitely tell our foot traffic's down since we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
So it helps.
It absolutely does.
And where you guys are very visible on the main road like we are, and your windows having all the graphics on your windows, I mean, you guys stand out. Plus there's usually a Lambo. So
there's something cool.
Or a few nice cars.
yeah. All right, guys, so we can wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're about an hour and a half in, so it goes fast.
It
Yeah,
does.
Like I'm sitting here just like staring in your guys' eyes talking, and then I was like, oh crap, I better check the time.
I know, it was fun. Thanks for having us.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you.
We'll do it again. I told Mallory we need to figure out like maybe even having another mic in here, or sharing a mic, having someone else sit next to me, and bringing Brooks back, or having like 4 or 5 guys in here, and we all just bouncing back and forth and going at it. I think that'd be cool.
No,
That'd
definitely.
be a 3-hour session for sure.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun.
Yeah.
We should do it.
It would.
All right.
It would.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll do
course.
it again. We'll have you both back on. We're still trying to do our every month with Zach. So
Cool.
if you guys are sticking around just for Zach, I understand it. His beard's better than mine. No hate here.
At least you guys can grow a beard.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping by.